Gentlemen, you ever been on a first date and got the dreadful starting line to what is not going to be good? You know, whether it be right after the first date or a couple days after, where they say, I had a great time, or, you're a good guy, but, there's always that but, and that's when what comes afterwards isn't good, and all that. Yeah, I think we've all been through that. And that's what this card feels like.
Reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high.
Yo, what is poppin', YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here, and I'm bringing you guys a little change of pace today. Because even though I moved, I'm not in my own room, so I don't. Anywhere I go and attempt to record, I will wake people up in the wee hours of the morning, so I'm outside. And let me know if you guys really like more outdoor videos like this, and I'll do more. Because this is pretty nice. While it's nice outside and all that stuff, we're good to go. So, anyway, on to the topic at hand. Diviner of the Heralds. Such an amazing piece of World Chalice support, and actually fairy support in general. So, I'm going to go over this card for the lot of you that don't know what this card does, because I bet you there's quite a few who don't know what it does. So, Diviner of the Heralds, it is a level 2 light fairy monster. We love level 2 fairies that are light monsters. We like those. But it is also a tuner monster, which is actually important, as I will explain a little bit later. And it has a couple of effects that are actually noteworthy. They're pretty important. So, if this card is normal summon or special summon, you can send any fairy monster from your main deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and that card will gain the total levels of that monster. So if I send a level 3 Venus to the graveyard, it becomes level 5. Also, if this card is tributed in any way, you can special summon a level 2 or lower fairy monster from your deck. That is really good. Now, it's not the best, simply because it doesn't interact with Venus. In fact, I've taken note of a lot of fairy support in general not being able to interact with Venus at all. When you look at cards like Eva, Condemned Witch, and now this card, Eva and Diviner of the Heralds seem to only interact with level 2 or lowers, and Condemned Witch specifically interacts with level 4s. It's almost like Konami is doing this on purpose. It's almost like they purposely do not want fairy support to interact with Venus at all. I could be wrong, but take that as you will. Anyway, why is this card so good? Well, it's good because of its tributed to someone's leaf from the deck, and it searches World Legacy, World Chalice. But, a lot of you are going to think, well, we need a way to tribute this card consistently. And we do. In Eternity Code, there is a level 9 fairy, which is also pretty, convenient that it's level 9. And this card is what? Trias Hierarchia? I'm butchering the name, I know I am. But Trias Hierarchia is a level 9 fairy to where if it is in the hand or the graveyard, you can tribute up to 3 fairies to summon this card. And then apply effects in sequence based on the number of fairies you tributed. If you tributed at least 2, you get to destroy a card on the field without targeting. If you tributed 3, you get to draw 2 cards. But we do not care about any of those effects, because we only care about just tributing the Herald and getting Leaf from the deck. Now, how does this work? You normal summon your Diviner of Heralds, and you send Trias Hierarchia to the graveyard. Use Trias Hierarchia, tribute Diviner of the Heralds, summon it out of the graveyard, and then use Diviner of the Heralds to summon Leaf from the deck and search World Legacy, World Chalice. So, knowing all this, well, you still have, this solves one half of the whole deal of getting the full combo. All you need now is a normal monster. And, you know, there's no shortage of vanilla-based extenders. You know, you have 3 unexpected dies, you have Shade Brigandine, you have Emergency Teleport, and all that good stuff. So there's no shortage of normal monsters that you can get access to. So if I start with unexpected die and, I don't know, summon a Galaxy Serpent from the deck, and I summon this thing, send Trias Hierarchy to the graveyard, tribute, summon it out, effect of Diviner of the Heralds, summon Lee, add World Legacy Will Chalice from deck to hand. I can link that vanilla into an Imduct, summon World Legacy Will Chalice, bam, I have full combo. So, this is another starter card, which is what the deck desperately needs since Brilliant Fusion left the game. It's unfortunate. So, anyway, there's other reasons why this card is very good, and I've alluded to it just a little bit earlier. It is a level 2 Light Fairy, which means it can be interacted with via Transmodify. Now, a lot of you probably know this already, but I'm not a fan of Transmodify at all, and I never was. Well, I was at the very beginning back in 2017, but until I realized that this card is only good if you don't have Venus in your hand and your opponent doesn't have a hand trap. You know, and you know, the worst case scenario, you open Modify and Venus, the card that you're trying to access anyway, so it's essentially a dead card. However, the different dynamic here is there's a couple things, okay? First, if your opponent does have a hand trap for Transmodify to the Diviner of the Herald, you still summon Leaf from your deck, regardless, and you still get that search. So, if you did start the game off with a vanilla extender like, let's say, Unexpected Die, and you tribute that Diviner of the Heralds, and it gets ashed, yeah, you don't get Venus from the deck, but you still get Lee, you still get World Legacy Will Chalice, you still turn that vanilla monster into an Imduct, you still have full combo. So, a lot of good things there. Now, here's another interesting dynamic that a lot of folks probably don't think about right off the bat. Let's say I do open that dreadful duo of, let's say, Venus and the Transmodify. Now, if I have any tuner extender, you know, whether it be Tinny Spirited Horror or Quick Draw Synchron, and let's say my Venus gets impermed because everybody's playing imperm, at least I think they are, and let's say I go do my Quick Draw Synchron, make Krishan Needle Fiber. Remember, Diviner of the Heralds is a tuner monster, so you can summon this baby from the deck with Krishan Needle Fiber and then activate Transmodify and get another Venus from your deck, still summoning Leaf from your deck, creating World Legacy Will Chalice to your hand, and boom, you have full combo. So that's another thing that makes Transmodify a lot more appealing, is the fact that you can access this card extremely easily if you do not open it. And even if you do open Venus, if it does get interrupted, all you need is a tuner extender, or so if you, like I said, had Tinny Spirited Horror, like Quick Draw Synchron via like tuning or Unexpected Die into Galaxy Serpent, and you just, if your Venus gets stopped, just Needle Fiber, summon Herald, and just Transmod, and you're still good. So there's a lot of good things going for this card. Now, here's the but of it all. Let's take a look and inspect this card and look towards the bottom of the display, bottom of the picture. You see that little JP there? Yeah, that's right. That JP, that means it's some sort of Japanese exclusive. I don't think it's a V-Jump, because I think V-Jumps say things differently, but it's something. It's something that we don't know when we're getting it, and that is the downside of all of this stuff. I hate Japanese exclusives. The V-Jumps, the 20th anniversaries, and the Link Vrains packs, and all that stuff. Just all these exclusive packs that they get that we know we're not going to get. And so we have to sit here and wait for TCU Konami and bank on them importing it in a core booster set, which we get every 3 months. or in a Battles 11 engine, which comes once a year, or a dual ultra rare set, which also comes once a year. And so we just have limited options. So some of you may say, hey, oh, well, it's not a meta defining card. It's not a card that will change up the meta in any way, shape, or form. It's not Needle Fiber, it's not Cherubini, and it's not Jasmine, it's not Dragoon Red Eyes, which we all know all those cards have just took it so long to get here. But keep in mind, there's still cards that don't do anything in the meta, like Trickstar Fairs, that still have not come here yet. So even cards that don't impact the meta at all still have not gotten imported here. So I wouldn't try to use the fact that it wouldn't be meta impactful as a reason that they would import it early. Bottom line is, get off my phone. Bottom line is that we don't know where we're getting it. We should have got it out of Eternity Code. It made sense because not only do we have a card like Trias Hierarchia in that set, we also had some Megala support. Again, it is a ritual support based card. It made sense to put it in something like that, but it's not there, so God knows when we're getting it. And that is a very, very unfortunate card. It's so good. It's such an alluring card, but it's in something Japanese exclusive, so we don't know when we're going to get, if we're going to get it at all. But, of course, Japanese exclusives. Why does the OCG get to be the only region that has nice things? I don't know. But, guys, let me know your thoughts about this card. Am I really just gassing this card up for no reason? Or is there some weight behind what I'm saying? I'll leave that up to you guys. I'll let you draw your conclusions from there. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Jay Money, and I am signing.